Assassin's Creed Valhalla is finally here, and this game is absolutely amazing. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of story. There's a lot of wild things going on. We're going to go through it all. We're going to do the playthrough. I'm going to do a couple of things in the background so that you guys don't get bored or you guys don't see me just randomly, constantly exploring. But we're going to play through the game. This is going to be a guide for you guys, and we're going to have fun. I'm Darkshard of the YouTube Assassin. Let's play some Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Silence, you children of gods.
Make me.
Heed my tale of time's beginning.
This is like some mystical crap right now.
It was dark. There was no sand. There was no sea. No earth, nor sky. No grass, nor wind. Till fire met ice in the gasping void. And from this scream came the giant Eivor, first of all beings. Proud Eivor, cruelly killed, yet from whose bones and blood and brains the world was made. The world you walk and war upon.
So that was a pretty elaborate beginning, origin kind of story. Nothing to do with Eivor, though. Just the origin of, like, I guess what they believe, like, life was and stuff. I really wonder if they're going to have, like, Isu in this and stuff. I hope they do. So this is us. We are this child right now. This is Eivor.
Eivor, here's a tune for you. Want to liven your step? Oh, there you are, my little dringer. Go. So, you see our king? Yes, good. Come, Eivor.
I really do feel like I'm playing something out of the History Channel.
Now for our little plan. You see us talking. Be quiet as a wood mouse. And surprise him with our gift. You hold it out like this. You look him in the eyes and you say, Styrbjörn King. May our clans be forever bonded in friendship and in love. I think you can do that for me. Good. Tonight, you will be the cord that unite our people. I'm so proud of you, Eivor. Get up, Olaf.
So now there's like a lot to do here, which is really weird. You could just dance here. Look at this guy just being carried on the freaking thing. The kid is taking part in the celebrations and stuff. Moving along. Now the first time I did this, I really just waited a while. This one I kind of got the jump on everything.
Oh, what a piece! That must be worth 2 sturdy launches. Give it here. I'll pass it on.
My father asked me, Sigurd.
Suit yourself.
And believe it or not,
You're
like,
not getting any meat.
I've found like a couple of little glitches and stuff like that in this game. There's a couple of things that they it's still at launch. No game development company is perfect. Still at launch, they had a couple of errors. There's some lag in the game and stuff, but it's not game breaking like Odyssey when Odyssey originally came out. And this one is like really weird. I don't know if this is an Easter egg or not, but that's obviously Eivor's father. Here's Eivor's mother. And she looks like Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. And not just that, like her name is Rasta. Wasn't Rost the guy who raised Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn?
That's in the morning.
Well, that dude's drunk. Yeah, she really does look like Aloy.
You have a gift to deliver.
Eivor, wait. Skål! To Sturmjorn, the true king of Brugerfolga! Tonight, we all made anew. Skål! Eivor.
King, may our clans be forever bonded in friendship and love.
Thank you, Eivor. Now and forever, I am pledged to you.
That was cute.
Hearken well in Hall of Kings. On ocean steed, my words gain wings.
Yeah, it is uncanny how she looks like Aloy.
Odin's mead I forth will bring. For noble deeds that honor sing. Slain Valkyria wakes.
Now, just to let you guys know, every time you see a jump like that, that's not me doing it. That's literally the game. I don't know why it lags like that. But again, it's not game breaking, and you still get to see everything that's going on. And of course, the party is freaking crashed.
Not you, Eivor. Not just yet.
And of course, the kid doesn't listen, so you head for the door.
It is foretold. The curtains are raised. Nothing is true until it is severed from the branches of Yggdrasil.
But this is going to be like a wild battle. This is intense. Look at this kid's mom. That's a mama bear. Don't mess with mom. Look, carrying the kid and swinging an axe at the same time.
Now stop! Please! Right. Go!
Just like a kid not to listen. Look at this. Sword is like 19 million pounds heavier than Eivor. Kid at least had some spunk trying to fight back.
Speed to Valhalla. Sigurd! Take the horse!
All right, wait here.
They're burning everything down. Look at this.
will slay you. Accept your fate, die a coward here before your people, and I will spare the rest.
Fight, my love. Do not listen.
One question I have, whoever's the king during all this? He's conveniently not there.
If I give my life, will you spare my clan?
You have my word.
No. No, Aaron. No, Aaron. Pick up your axe.
Witness both his parents dying. There's Sigurd, they're gonna escape. I don't know how they both survived this. I mean, it wasn't a long fall, but at the same time, that ice is pretty hard. Death via never-ending story. How that wasn't the end of Eivor, I don't know. A lot of symbolism with wolves, though. So Eivor screamed and the wolf let go. And now ravens attacked it. Which I'd love to figure out, like, how that happened. That's interesting.
I can parse the streams with a filter. Hold on. Okay, we're good. Are we? I don't know what happened, but I can work around it. You'll have to pick a stream to keep things stable. There's a third option, too. I can let the Animus modulate your identity based on signal strength. It's up to you.
Now this was interesting. You could either be the female Eivor or the male Eivor, or you could let the Animus choose. And at certain points, it'll make you either male or female. But in several instances where I like started that, it always begins with a female Eivor.
How long have you been chasing me, Wolf-Kissed? 17 winters? 18?
That's another thing we gotta love.
Do I now haunt your dreams?
This one is the Wolf-Kissed. Odyssey, it was the Eagle Bearer.
You remember this? Ah, your father's axe. The weapon of a coward. A scorn snake. Ah, few things would please me more than to kill with this blade. But I know you would be fighting for a glorious end. That I will not allow. You will live your final days enthralled as a slave. Humiliated. Your death will be a lonely one. Kill the rest of our crew! Make them suffer! Eivor Wolf-Kissed is no more! That name is dead to this world!
Says you.
You will be worth your weight in silver. To the ship.
This has like a real Skyrim feel to it as well.
You move, and I take your eyes. You hear me? Wind's blowing from the south. We can tack north, then cut west. Now, what did I just tell you?
That dude sinks to the bottom in a cage. That's a horrible death. So is this one.
I will skin you alive. Never leave this.
No feast for you, Sunan. My crew is in danger. You must be my eyes.
So rather than having an eagle, you have a raven here, which is pretty wild. And if you guys have ever checked the Ubisoft Connect, right now there's like a bunch of different skins you could get for the bird. You could have the white Senu skin, which Senu, of course, was the eagle from Assassin's Creed Origins, Bayek's eagle. The other weird thing is that there is a Bayek outfit for Eivor. And what's weird about that is that I don't see any other legacy outfits for any of the other characters. There is a skin for the horse. There is a weapon. And I was kind of upset because the Ubisoft Connect, the items now are kind of expensive, whereas they were anywhere from 10 to like, I think the highest ever was like 50 of those tokens. I've gotten stuff for like 100 of those tokens, at least in Valhalla. The other crazy thing is that there are a couple of items in there that you're unable to unlock for right now. So I'd love to see what kind of conditions they have so that you can unlock them. They say something about like public events, like attending an event. So we'll see what happens there. I think that's how you get the Bayek outfit. Now this game is like a real return to form. You know, we got the synchronization points, which they always did have, but they also have this Odin sight, which allows you to kind of like see your surroundings almost like eagle vision from like the Ezio trilogy and things like that.
Where that oathbreaker is holding my crew.
And this is kind of weird. Like, I guess you jump into like the water. Every time I find a synchronization point so far, it's been in water that you jump into. I don't know if that's kind of like logical sense, because if you think about it, you're not, if you had hay around here, I'm pretty sure it would be hard. It might hurt when you jump into it because it would be frozen.
I'll kill you.
These guys like ragdoll really bad. It's like really crazy. But I have noticed that it's kind of weird the way that they do certain things. Like you cannonballed into like the water. You didn't even like eagle dive into it. So now we're gonna run. We're gonna go to that little area over there. See, it's a raven. Still does the same thing as Senu and all of them, but you know, kind of goes with the thing. Kind of goes with the game. I really do like the attention to detail too. I like how, like, as you're running, you'll see plants give way. Like, some of the plants are brittle. If they're tall and stuff like that, they'll snap. They'll just fall over. And then as you're running and stuff, you also have your strides in the snow widen or, you know, shorten depending on how fast you're moving. And then you're just making like a path. If you turn around and you look at the path that you came from, you see it continues. So that's pretty wild. I actually like really enjoy that. There's a long trek. Crazy thing is that it took a while to like actually get through the tutorial area.
I do.
This is all tutorial still.
Slipped away in the sword clash. And what have you?
Kjotve tried to sell me off. A mistake he'll regret.
Not today, he won't. I saw him board a ship at Avaldsnes not long ago. Sailed east, leaving our crew behind.
There must still be time to save our men. I will find them. You ready the longship.
You glory hound? You would take the rescue for yourself, so the victory song is written about you.
I could storm the beach then.
I love their accents.
Seize our dragon boat and hoist the sail in triumph. Up to you.
No, I will take the beach. A far more dangerous path. You search the longhouse for our crew. Oh, and here. This corpse will not have need of it.
Go. I'll meet you by the ship.
That's the other thing when I'm talking about return to form. We actually use shields again, which is absolutely amazing. You can dual wield axes with this. That's absolutely amazing in itself. We could equip this. It's intense. I actually really do enjoy the options with this game. And obviously, you know, like you don't have everything, you don't have like your full equipment. You have some equipment. You'll get the rest of the equipment later on. I'm dying to see if the sets work like Odyssey or if they're different. It just, this game is, even though this is just the beginning, it's really intense. Yeah, photo mode is back.
Kjotve's warriors crawl through Avaldsnes like lice. If I use the main gate, I may attract attention.
Use the main gate. Do it. The only thing is, like, in the beginning, you really can't assassinate yet. So, you're really not an assassin. You really have to play this warrior style. Warrior and hunter. Which I think they do on purpose, and that's fine. After all, you are a warrior. You're a Viking. These battles are pretty intense. And then the other thing, the other issue that people had was in dealing with the health. A lot of people were kind of upset. They thought that, you know, like having to scrounge around for rations and stuff was kind of silly. It really wasn't. It kind of works the same way as way back in Assassin's Creed 2 and whatnot. You have to find rations, you have to find some kind of food, and then you could like use it. You don't have to scrounge around. You're not gonna like die mid-battle. Wow, that kind of jumped. Pay attention to these red things. You'll see them on the doors. You'll see them on ropes and stuff. If you hit them, they open up doorways or they'll drop bricks. Things like that. Open up new paths for you. Which is pretty wild, especially if you're going like exploring. If you're going exploring, which that's one of my favorite things to do, it's pretty intense. The leveling up here is way different than in Odyssey. Odyssey was like really a grind. This one, it doesn't really seem to actually be much of a grind. You're still like doing all kinds of stuff for like XP and whatnot, but as you're doing it, you're collecting it, you're accumulating XP quick. They do still have like a bunch of like the add-ons like in the store and stuff where you can obtain it so that way you could level quicker or you could get more money quicker, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad where you would need something like that. The game is pretty straightforward with their stuff, which I greatly appreciate. And like as far as like gaining your skill points, the skill points are now a skill tree, which is really weird, but at the same time it's actually pretty cool. So you'll see the skill tree later on. But right now this is like attention to detail, a lot of detail. I'm playing this currently on the PS4. Waiting for my PS5 to come in so that I could upgrade it and play it on the PS5. But for right now, the graphics are intense. I really like it. There's a lot of exploration to be done. There's a lot of like breakable backgrounds and walls and things like that. And the thing is that you definitely have to pay attention to that because there are certain places where you will have to like break into a house to get a treasure chest, and you'll have to destroy a certain wall or a certain outcropping, something like that. And the only way to do that, really, you got to pay attention to the layout of the house. Because there'll be certain areas that you'll have to break and it'll be not really that common to see or not easily found. So, you know, like keep an eye out if you're looking at a house. The other day I was live streaming and I couldn't figure out a way into this house, and then I finally figured it out. And it was a lot easier than I made it out to be. It's just a little tricky because you really had to find the area to like get it. By the way, the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a diamond fill up with like a blue light. And every time it fills up, that's when you level up. And, I mean, especially early on doing these missions, you're actually gaining a lot of XP really fast. These fences, you see how the fences were made of sticks? Those are going to easily break. You look at the houses, you look for something like that, and you'll find something that'll break like that. And that's how you'll get in. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm exploring like this whole area. I really do enjoy digging out all kinds of stuff, like getting all kinds of armor. Definitely the currency here is silver, so you definitely need a lot of that if you have any hopes of upgrading anything. All around you'll find these treasure chests, and you want to loot them because they give you like some pretty intense things as well. Better weapons, better armor. You'll find artifacts around here. You'll find runes. Runes are basically engravings. As far as like Odyssey went, and you could remove a rune from anything. You could put it back on. Well, you can't just put it on anything. You really have to have like a slot, kind of like Final Fantasy materia. But like as you upgrade your actual gear, you'll gain more slots. And like we'll look into that like later on. Upgrading gear is very intense. It takes a lot of material, just like every Assassin's Creed game since Origins. They're still going obviously with the RPG element, but they want you to like really work to get all the materials that you need in order to upgrade the stuff. You don't want an easy game. And the other thing I haven't seen where you can break down your old gear. And I'm wondering if every piece of gear has potential to become legendary, because you can upgrade it, kind of like Skyrim, kind of like the Elder Scrolls. It starts off like a common, then it's like flawless, then it's sublime and stuff like that. So you keep upgrading it constantly. And now we'll get into the house to like free the crew. Have to come all the way up here and then just drop.
You squirm like that, and my axe will miss your neck. Unpleasant for both of us.
Time to die. I want to make a mess of it, Buckraut.
And peasants.
You! Lay that axe aside or die by mine.
You should be on a slave ship to Ireland, Wolfkist. But if you wish to be my first sacrifice, Odin will be more than happy to receive you.
You just killed yourself, Erki.
Yep, it's murder time.
And I will spare your life.
Shut your hole and fight!
So this fight, what you want to do basically, you definitely want to make sure that you're kind of dodging, blocking, attacking. Every time you see him like really swing that axe, get out of the way. Unlike I did. You want to get out the way, he'll put that axe into the ground. When he puts that axe into the ground, that is your chance to like really dig into him. Then at one point he'll bring out these two hammers and you just want to dodge again. Get out of the way. The stamina gauge, I still have to figure out. It's kind of an interesting concept. You obviously get tired as you're swinging, like doing heavy swings and whatnot. And you lose stamina really quick as like you kind of miss. If you miss, you run out of stamina. If you're hitting them, you're gaining stamina. And then the other thing you want to do, keep an eye on your health gauge. Lower left-hand corner, that's where the health gauge is, as well as your stamina bar.
Father, you should have held on to this until the bitter end.
If I give my life, will you spare my clan?
Then no! Pick up your axe!
Kill them all!
No!
Like I said, lots and lots of like wolf symbolism in this game, which is pretty wild. Love to see where they go with it. The world tree, maybe?
Eivor, are you bewitched? Unbind her.
Yes, of course.
Eivor was losing her stuff. And here you get your first pieces of actual equipment. And I gotta apologize, I'm just very exploratory. I like exploring everything. And here we get to actually like put on all kinds of gear. Gives you like a little extra power, a little extra protection, and it just looks cool.
Even if your wits were somewhat rattled.
Listen here. If you can breathe, you can fight. Now come. We take back our ship.
You do not need to tell us twice.
Now comes the fun part. We're going to do some battle. Your whole crew is actually going to battle in this fight. You're going to like take everything out. And then this time you really got to make sure that you also loot the bodies. You'll see the bodies have like loot. It'll be just like in Odyssey. So you won't like have to guess. The fight sequences are brutal, and you could even take people's heads off if you got like a strong enough axe. So the main goal here is to get to the boat. But of course you could always like go around and explore like all around here, which is also fun. Get a couple of things you didn't miss, or that you did miss. And you could always come back to this after you go a little further in, and then you want to go back and explore, you can do that. I just love the look at that. I shattered the shield. That was great. Doing all this running around, we'll get back to the ship. Oh, we'll fight these guys first, then get to the ship. Let's get to that ship already. I really do enjoy the fighting. The fighting is easy, it's clean. It's not that hard to learn. Dodging everything, it's good.
Grab your oars. The whale road leads us home.
Gods, it's about time.
The ship is a little bit smaller, but it's still pretty good. Apparently you're able to like ram other ships with this too.
Rather silent, Eivor. Anything to say for the mess you led us to?
We suffered no losses in this fight, and the men who humiliated us are dead. What is there to say?
Oh, something like, I was stupid, selfish, reckless, blind, bone-headed, and I smell like blood and shit?
I like my version better.
The banter is hilarious. You're gonna keep seeing this stuff.
Someone is setting up an outpost on that island.
Kjot's men, gnawing at any piece of open land like dogs worrying a bone.
Even with you half in the grave, we could easily take them.
This is actually cool too. You get to like raid settlements and stuff. So this is obviously the bad Vikings, one of his settlement. You could like just go and tear it up. Battle sequences are just amazing. There's a lot of female Vikings in this as well, which is like pretty wild. When you see a chest like that, you know you got like a special piece of equipment. And whereas you could dual wield with 2 axes if you wanted to, or an axe and a shield, this one actually requires 2 hands. Just running around checking to see if there's anything else nearby I could grab. Every time you upgrade your quiver and stuff like that, make sure you find some arrows or something to fill it. You're definitely going to need it. Now we'll go back to the ship and we'll continue on. Again, I just love the detail in this game.
Let the sail out!
Jotva will come for us now, harder and stronger than before.
No surprise there. This war has spun on for 3 generations. I hardly expect him to relent.
Your hatred for that man burns bright wolf-kissed. I could warm my balls on it.
Would you not prefer a pair of sealskin breeches?
Just take care, Eivor. Such hatred can make you careless. What he did to your father, he did to all of us. You are not in this fight alone. King Styrbjorn will scold you for setting out against his wishes.
Of course he will.
Is that not something you worry over?
I worry only that our king will not see that I am right until it's too late.
What about Sigurd? What would he say?
He's sitting beside you, wiping the blood from his axe and smiling into the breeze.
I just love the way they talk.
And what will you tell our king about this misadventure?
Only the truth. He attacked Kjotve's fortress, killed his men, and weakened his control of this land.
Will you mention the part where you lost your crew and were nearly sold as a thrall? Will that be part of your saga?
There's a skull who dares sing that verse. It'll be his last song.
So close to the settlement, and then we're gonna deal with whatever's going on here. Now this, a lot of people were confused by.
For good this time.
That looks a lot like Cassandra, but it's not.
You look like reddened shit. What happened?
Nothing to crow about, except to say the men who delayed us are dead. And how are you?
Well enough. Though I have spent many tiresome days calming the rages of our king, he is not happy with you.
I expected as much. And what of Sigurd? Has he returned from his raids?
My husband should be home today. The last we heard, he was approaching Stavanger.
Good to hear.
Did your raid not go as planned?
They rarely go as planned. We killed many of Kjotve's warriors. And there was this. My father's axe among the dead.
Ah. After so many years. You should take it to Gunnar. He will give it back its edge.
A good idea. After I see our king.
That I do not advise. Not yet. He is meeting with a messenger from the north.
I can wait.
A cloud hangs over you. Is something wrong?
Seeing my father's axe after 17 winters. It stirred something in me. A feeling I have not had since the day he was killed. Since the day I got this.
It's the day she was bit by a wolf.
Of sadness and pain.
I should speak with Valka. She could help me make sense of my feelings.
Take your time getting settled. I will see you at the Longhouse.
I think you have lost your edge, Eivor. Just like that axe. Maybe Gunnar can help you with both.
I will let you know.
Eivor! Looking rough you are. Welcome home.
So now I leveled up and you'll be able to see the whole sequence of leveling. It's kind of like weird. Although this one was really weird because I seem to have way more points than I originally had when I reached level 2. And every time you go through the skill tree, you can open up new paths as you go along. And your power is related to like what you open up pretty much. Still unable to do any assassinations, but we'll see what happens as we go along. Now, this town is actually pretty fun.
With a boat and a full crew, that is worth more than silver.
That doesn't count. You need silver and jewels. Shut up, bro. How do you know? You never went on a raid. You shut up.
Yeah, silver is their currency, so it's not drachmi or drachma. And then I really like this. I like the quest screens. I like the codex. The codex actually explains like a lot of different things. It actually names the enemies and stuff like that. It names like your factions and whatnot. It's pretty interesting.
The fish aren't biting. Too many passing boats churning the water.
I lack the patience for pole fishing. I would have better luck with my bow.
Shooting fish with a bow. That could work.
And I try to speak to her again to see if like that helps, or if they gives me like a different option or whatever. But like you could go around, you could like speak to everybody, you could like speak to the blacksmith, increase your all of your gear, you could enhance it, which is pretty wild. You have stables, you could like call for a horse. There are stores where you could buy materials if you want, instead of, you know, like looking for whatever gear. You could actually buy extra leather, arrows, anything like you need like that, so that you could upgrade your stuff personally. It all depends on you. It all depends on your gameplay style. There's like a bunch of stuff to do in the town though.
Anything else?
And I strongly suggest you like really explore it before you go doing anything else. And of course, like re-exploring places you've already been, because you really want to make sure you get and squeeze every bit of everything out of all these places. Like your resources are going to be very important. You'll find rations everywhere, which is good. This is actually hilarious. You could just like hide, sit at this table and just like blend in. Now that woman that's like yelling, it's actually hilarious. You could go and have a drink with her. It's a drinking contest. You actually gain silver for like beating her. You have to actually talk to her. I'm over here drinking from like the bin. That's not what you're supposed to do.
Hey Tekla, what is brewing?
I wonder if they're going to have a discovery tour for this game as well. So it's a drinking game. You gotta dip your horn in this mead, start drinking it. You gotta hit the button at the time when it gets close to the circle, not outside the circle. Every time you do that, it's a chug. And basically you want to beat her. And you gotta at least drink 3. There you go, so I already did 1, she's still drinking. Gonna go to my second one. At this point, you see how I missed the circle? And then the other thing was that like I'm getting drunk, so you gotta like actually hit the left or the right stick, so that way you stay centered. So here we go. Now I'm on my third one. She's just finishing up her second one. So it looks like I might have her, if I don't pass out while chugging. Trying to stay stable, but it looks like I've got it. There it is. Now I'll go find the flight guy. It's like an epic rap battle. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Other than that, I really do hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out an awful lot. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And you'll see the next episode tomorrow.